Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. Some people always ask, why do you always say that? I say that because I want you to give energy and faith to what you want to see happen. So focus on what is good. You can't go wrong when you focus on what is good. You get rid of stinking thinking when you focus on what is good. So focus on what is good. Jaki Draper is here this evening, and we are going to talk about friendship and loyalty, keeping it real. But before we get into that, I would like to remind you, if you would like to donate to the podcast, you can donate at Cash App at SB Favor. I appreciate that. Jaki, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we had the opportunity to talk because of all the events in my life. So how have you been?
I've been good, actually. Pretty uneventful going on in the last 6 weeks, but yeah, nice. Everything's good. Nice.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here with you to chat a little bit. We're going to talk about friendship and loyalty. So what comes to your mind when you think about loyalty and friendship, those two words together? Because people use those words together sometimes, and I believe that some people just don't even know what it means.
I agree. I learned in my older age here that to be more discerning on who I call my friend, and the loyalty part is the part that I look at the most. I've made poor choices in the past, giving people more benefit of the doubt than I should have, not paying attention to their past exhibits of their character, and thinking that, these people had changed, or maybe they just wouldn't, maybe they treated someone else that way, but why would they treat me this way? But the truth is, if they're going to treat someone else that way, they're going to definitely treat you that way as well.
That's for sure. I wanted to talk about this topic because lately, because of all the personal events in my life, I just have been considering and really examining who is in my life that is really loyal to me, because I think that when you purge your life, as they say, then you can set the standard for more good things. And that doesn't mean that something bad or negative can't happen at all, because we're human. But when you decide to surround yourself with quality people, then you maintain quality in your life. And I think that when we make bad choices to who we allow in our life, we basically open the door to toxic things sometimes. And as you stated, you can observe the way people treat other people to decide if they are somebody you want in your life. And I personally, I always pay attention to those things. But lately, I have been paying more attention to it because of, like I said, because of what has taken place concerning the passing of family members, and just trying to have a more quality filled life. So, but what comes to your mind, Jaki, when you think about the word red flags concerning friendship? Red flags.
Well, yeah, red flags. So just as we were saying earlier, when we have friends that are treating other people, red flags, the way that, or exhibiting poor character, whether it's poor character in their professional life, that you as their friend, they confide in you, their choices, their way they treat people they work with, then you see this character. This is a red flag. If they're going to act this way at work, they're going to act this way in their personal life. You are surrounding yourself with people who are of poor quality. And as you were saying, to surround yourself with higher level quality people, you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. Examine these people completely. Who are they? how do they think? Do they make good choices? I don't believe that people are their past. I believe you are who you are today, and people are fully capable of learning from their past. So I wouldn't hold behaviors of the past against someone. I want to know who they are right now. But you can see who they are right now every day. If someone is close enough to you for you to call them your friend, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe one time something happens and you're like, that's a red flag. I actually had this recently happen in the past 6 months. A very good friend of mine, someone that I considered one of my closest and dearest friends,
Mm-hmm.
There was a red flag. And I thought, well, maybe this is a little out of character, something I've never noticed about this person. And then a few months later, another instance very similar to it popped up. I'm not mad about it. I'm not, now I have nothing to say, I'm not going to block the person or not be their friend. I just don't keep them in close confidence as I did in the past.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm pretty much the same way. A true friend to me is someone who has my back, somebody that prays for me, somebody that will defend me when I'm not present, somebody that will protect me from all types of harm, someone that is loyal to me, not based upon convenience, someone that's not trying to outshine me or compete with me. But guess what? When they're really your friend, they will actually let you shine first. Someone that's honest in conversation, someone that's just trustworthy. I'm not talking about trying to be perfect, because nobody is perfect. But I think that what happens is, in relationships, I believe that God presents opportunities for us to be tested in our character, because you use the word character, Jackie. And I think that when we are presented with the opportunity to be proven according to who we are in character, some people pass and some people don't pass. But if you don't pass that test, it doesn't mean that you won't have the opportunity to try again, because none of us is perfect. But the key thing is this: if you say that you are someone's friend, I think that as individuals, we should examine ourselves to determine, am I really this person's friend, or do I have an ulterior motive? Because red flags to me, Jackie, is someone that's competitive and somebody that has ulterior motive. They're not pure in their intentions toward me. They're around me because they want something, or they want to use me for something, or they only call when things are wrong. They never call or come around when things are going right. What do you think about that type of person that says they're your friend? They only call when something is wrong. What do you think of that?
Well, yeah, I have to say I don't have anyone close to me like that at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Mm-hmm. So I really don't have any experience in having friends that are, just calling when things are wrong or when they need something.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. Most of my friends I have a lot of very social friends mm-hmm. that mm-hmm. aren't real friends. They're people that I do things with socially and hang out with necessarily. Maybe they're associated from my children and my children's activities. So, but it's very difficult for me to confide in people.
Okay.
So I have a hard time allowing people in.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. I call that measures. A measure. I use the word measure because I give each person a measure of trust, right? And so as time goes on in that friendship, that measure of trust will increase based upon what you show me, based upon where we are in our friendship. But I agree with you. I'm the same way. I don't open up so easily, but I try very hard to be very transparent and just open and not withdrawn to the point to make anybody feel like I can't be befriended. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there is a difference between an association and a friend. There's a difference because
exactly.
Associations you keep at a distance, and you may talk to them every now and then, and you might even hang out and do occasions or events together. They may call and check on you. You might call and check on them. But friends are the ones, to me, they're almost like family,
Right.
because you have a history with them. They know your children, you know theirs. They've been in your life for a long time, and so
Right.
because of that, you develop over time a certain level of confidence in that person you call friend versus that person that's just an associate, right? So that person that is a friend, you have an expectation because they are a friend. So that person, I put them in that category, like I said, just because of all those things I just mentioned. And I'm going to mention those things again. What a friend, true friend, means to me is someone who has my back, someone that prays for me, someone that defends me when I'm not present, someone that protects me from harm, someone that is loyal to me, not based upon convenience. Someone that's not trying to outshine or compete with me. When a person is competitive, how can we call that person a friend, Jackie? How? I don't
I
understand.
agree.
I mean, for an example, I always look at Gail and Oprah. I always think about I always think about what Oprah says. A lot of people ask her, "Why is Gail your best friend?" And she said, because Gail is always cheering for me. She's not trying to compete with me. She has her best interests at heart all the time. And so when Oprah said that, when I heard her say that on television, I thought about that, and I said, well, the people that I consider to be a friend, do they have my best interests at heart? I started kind of just weighing things out, and then at that time, that was a couple years ago, and then at that time, I started removing people from my life. I started removing them because, like I said, I want a more quality filled life. And even now, I'm just thinking about it again, because that person that's competing with you, what do you think about that, Jackie? What makes a person say they're your friend, but they're competing with you? That's toxic.
Well, yes, they're not your friend, not a real friend. They're more the acquaintance friend. They're someone who you spend time with socially,
Mm-hmm.
someone that you have, that, maybe you have kids that are the same age. And so you are associated with them through sports and activities, or someone at work, perhaps, that may have befriended you outside of work, but they actually feel competitive with you.
What about the
They're not
person?
your real friends.
They're not your real friends. What about the person that um, befriends you and they're around you for some time, and then all of a sudden you start to see those type of characteristics of them being competitive, and you start seeing that. What would you do then?
Well, I would dive a little deeper on their psyche with this.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reason for this? What is the foundation of this? Is
Right.
this something that, is it me personally, or is
Mm-hmm.
it something that they're lacking in themselves?
Wow. That's good. Foundationally, what's the root of it? And I was talking with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and she said the same thing. She said there has to be a root cause for a person to do that, because somebody that says they're your friend or somebody that loves you will not function that way. So I would believe that it's something within them concerning their self-esteem that would make them act that way. Because when you are truly confident within yourself and you're adequate based upon who you know you are, then there's no reason to try to outshine or run to the front of the line or compete with somebody. When you are aware of your own lane, because all of us have our own lane. So when you are
Right.
aware of that, you don't try to be something else, because all of us are unique. We're all different. So somebody that's your friend, or somebody that says that they are your true friend, they wouldn't compete with you. A true friend is not someone that would be jealous of you either. What do you think about that?
Right. Well, my core friends, my core best friends are, there are people that I have common interest with,
Mm-hmm.
but there are there are aspects of them that are very different than me. They are, successful in different fields, and they excel in different areas. They're different than I am. We
Right.
have different strengths. We bring different things to the table. There are things that I can learn from them and things that they can learn from me.
Exactly.
And it gives us a balanced relationship. There is no reason to be jealous of them.
Right.
I have very intelligent friends. I have a very eclectic group of women that are very strong, intelligent, and
Mm-hmm.
very successful people. And we all do different things. We're all in different fields, but we all enjoy many of the same things, and we enjoy our time together. We enjoy diving deep in conversations with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and none of us feel competitive with each other. We actually find that we have,
Mm-hmm.
even though we all are successful in different areas, we have common goals within those different fields.
That's excellent because that goes to making the right choice. And when we choose to be in relationships with people in a friendship, that's the first thing you want to look at is this person someone you want to exchange with? Are you equally yoked in that area? Do you have like interests? And I'm glad you said that, Jackie, because when you choose to be around the wrong people, they'll bankrupt you. You know, there are people out there that have friendships, so-called friendships. They're being bankrupt, meaning that there is no exchange. There is no give and take. There is just take, right? So
Right.
that goes into choice. But I'm glad you said that because that's a very true fact. I used to go to these women conferences years ago with a good friend of mine that lived in Philadelphia, and we would go to these meetings and we would sit and have conversations with one another, and I would just meet all kinds of people, all kinds of women on different levels of life. And the blessing of it all for me personally was that I got to see the uniqueness of each person. And from being in that meeting, I developed friendships with different people. And then I developed associations with different people. But I'm saying all that to say that it was like picking cherries. You know, I had to decide, okay, this one is a friend, this one isn't. And to keep it real, you know, as nice as a person can be, sometimes that person may not fit the category of being a friend, right? So,
Right.
and so what you just described, that's it. You know, it comes down to choice. It comes down to determining, you know, is this person someone you can learn from? Can they learn from you? I believe that we all are in the position to help each other, no matter who we are and where we come from. But I think that to be friends with someone that's up close, someone that knows you personally, someone that knows a little bit more about you than the next person, that person, you have to guard your life because everybody's not your friend. That person that spends time with you, that's up close, make sure that that person is who they say they are. And I'm not talking about judging somebody and trying to see every fault, because even your closest friends will have faults. You know?
Right. We all do.
Ex-
Yes, we
yeah,
all are
exactly. But
riddled with fault.
yeah, but people that mean you no good, people that are not trustworthy, people that have ulterior motives, people that are competitive, people that don't want that exchange. They only come to get and take, but they don't want that exchange. That's not a friend.
Well,
That's not a friend, you know. So
well, I think
go ahead.
that sometimes people are in our lives that I don't think they necessarily have a ulterior motive, that they're out to hurt you, but everyone operates on a different vibration from a different level at the level that they're capable of giving. So sometimes we have people around us that we accept, and which is a part of friendship, is you, if especially if you choose to surround yourself with people who are alike but different, you will have to accept their differences and the things that are, different people have different religious beliefs, or they have different family values and different things. And I think it's important to surround yourself with people who think differently than you, so that you personally can grow and learn
Absolutely.
about others. So I I feel though that maybe someone who could be in your inner circle and they're being competitive with you,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe they're just ready to move to the next level. Maybe they're, and they feel jealous, and it's not necessarily they're trying to mean you harm with this jealousy. Maybe they're trying to grow and they just don't know how to do it.
Well, I believe that people, unfortunately, I believe that people do have ulterior motives because sometimes people have what I call inward issues that are not resolved. And so I think that to believe that everybody is good all the time, I
Right.
would call that to be naive and, self deceived. I think that everybody deserves to be loved and everybody deserves to be treated fairly, but I believe that it is wisdom to understand and observe an issue when a person has an issue when it's exposed. I believe that, if I'm in the presence of someone that says they're my friend, and if they are a liar and they're exposed to be a liar, guess what? I'm going to call that person a liar. So a person so a person like that has an ulterior motive because in my past I have because I'm a spiritual person, and so I see things and I hear things, and so in the past I've exposed people that had ulterior motives. They can say that they are one thing, but in the midst of circumstances and situations, they are exposed to be something else. So, friendships have seasons too. And so, someone that's in your life for someone that was in your life in 2010 may not be in your life right now because the season has passed. So friendships also have seasons where things change and
Absolutely.
right. But
Definitely.
what I'm saying is, know the difference about the people that you choose to be in your life when it comes to quote unquote friendship or deeming them to be loyal. We use the word friend so loosely, and I believe that all relationships have a divine purpose. But when you have a relationship with someone that you trust and that you confide in, someone that has been in your life, someone you have a history with, and you consider that person to be a friend, guess what? You got to check your fruit. And what I mean by checking your fruit, make sure it's right, because you want to make sure you have around you the things that bring you a quality filled life, and your choices have something to do with that. And so I would never ever look at people and just say, oh, they up to something. I don't think like that. That's accusation. But like I said, ulterior motives have been exposed because I would never think, and that everybody is just so good. No, because everybody's not, and that's just real talk. And people have issues, but that's not for me to judge because I love everybody. You show me something different, I just act like I don't see it. But like I said, when it comes to what we call loyalty and friendship, if you love yourself, then make sure you make the right choices to keep on loving yourself, because I know some people that have made bad choices when it comes to friendships, and it's become abusive to the point where they've been betrayed and they still allow certain people in their life. But we're not going to get all the way into that because that's another topic. But, we have to make good choices when it comes to friendships and what we define as what is loyal. So Jackie, I thank you for, your input on all of this. This topic can it can have different spins on it because when you think about friendship and you think about the exchanges that we make, the levels of friendships, the measures of trust that you can have with an individual, it's so many different spins we can go to when it comes to this topic. But let me ask you another question. Have you ever dealt with someone you thought was loyal and then you found out they wasn't loyal at all, and then you thought this person was a friend, you thought this was, and they wasn't loyal at all?
Oh my God, yes. I don't know, how long ago was this? Maybe, I don't know, I guess 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My very best friend in the whole wide world, the godmother to her son, was the ultimate betrayal, and it was devastating to me. It was literally devastating to me, and
Wow.
and that's when I started separating myself from people. It took me a long time to actually trust women again. Period.
Wow. Well, everything we go through is for our learning, right? And
Right.
but like I said, you can make the right choices, but everything we go through, even with the closest people we have in our life, everything is for our learning so that we can continue to grow and to continue to lift the standard. Because I think that when something happens to us in a relationship, it happens so that we can lift the standard, so that we can change our behavior. It's one thing to look at somebody else's behavior and say, oh, they did this to me or whatever. But I believe that personally, for me, when something happens, it's like, okay, I got to make some changes in that particular area, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this, having problems in relationships or going through different things, that's not something that we can avoid, but we can make better choices. And that's the whole point of this topic, to make better choices when it comes to defining what friendship and loyalty is, and who is loyal and who is our friend in our life. And do they have that place to stay, or do we have to keep them at a distance? We have to make those decisions. And we have to make those decisions because you want to continue to have a quality-filled life. You want people around you that motivate you, inspire you, and encourage you, and pray for you. And you don't want to be around somebody that's toxic.
Right.
You got to we all have to make better choices for the sake of just having a quality filled life. And that's the whole point. I wanted to talk about this topic because, like I said earlier, I have been thinking about a lot of things. A friend of mine said to me, she said, Shrey, you're going somewhere and everybody can't go with you. And when she said that, I said, whoa, wait a minute. I had to really think about that because that's the truth. That's the truth.
Right.
So there are some people that's going to be in your life all your life. And then there are some people, they will fall by the wayside. But I believe that God always presents opportunity for us to be proven. I just believe that when we have tests in relationships, it doesn't mean it comes to break the relationship apart. It means it comes to fortify the relationship when you are proven. That means to do what is right, to do what is honorable in your relationships, in your friendships, to be loyal. So, Jackie, do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I think we did good.
All right, listeners, thank you so much once again for tuning in to listen to SB Favor Thinking Podcast. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavor@yahoo.com via email. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SB Favor. I have a TikTok channel, or handle, I should say. I always say channel. Make sure you go over there, check me out at SB Favor. I have inspirational content there, quotes and all little crazy videos on TikTok. I also have
you do those dances.
Say that again? No, I don't do the
You
dances.
do dances?
No, I don't do no dances. I just do the quotes and all the little lights and music. I love all that stuff. But I also have a YouTube channel. You can click like and share this podcast with others. Subscribe to the channel. And make sure you click the bell so that you can receive a notification each time there is a new episode of SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. Listeners, I appreciate you so much. And once again, I want to remind you, if you want to donate to the podcast, you can donate at SB Favorite at Cash App. Thank you so much for your donations. You are greatly appreciated. I'm talking so fast. Thank you so much. And Jackie, thank you for chilling out with me again. Listeners,
thank you, SB.
Thank you. Listeners, thanks again, and you have a good day.